Hello. Welcome back to me sitting at the base of Mount Royal, drinking some tea. I have this cute little cup, which may seem impractical, but it's like actually the most practical thing ever because it provides the perfect one sip without your whole cup going cold, and then I can just take from the thermos and pour it again. You know what I'm saying? So if you're ever sitting outside, get yourself like a small cup, or I guess just pour a small amount of tea in a big cup. You can do whatever you want. But the reason we are sitting outside drinking tea today is because this is really just a chatty video. There's not really going to be that much art being made. Actually, there's going to be no art being made, but we will be talking a bunch about art, looking through some old sketchbooks. I brought, not all of them. We've looked through these before on my channel. I'll have some sketchbook tours listed so you can go watch them if you want to see all of it, but I'm just going to be using some pieces in here for examples, discussing my art journey, past, present, and future. And of course, as the title or the thumbnail will indicate, this is kind of, I guess, like a giveaway type thing. The point of this video is for me to present the opportunity for you to be drawn by me and explain why I'm doing this, because, you know, that way you know what the purpose of you being drawn by me is. So I have spoken in length actually about my art journey in other videos. Specifically, I'll put two up here that I've talked about it a lot, but almost all my videos I've talked about my art journey. But, you know, basically, I've been drawing my entire life, like probably everyone who talks about making art. I made art since I was a kid, but I started taking art more seriously around 4 or 5 years ago. And by this I mean, like, you know, wanting to improve and using art to like express what's going on in my head and all that stuff. And, you know, I found, not consciously, subconsciously, I guess, I keep going through this repeating cycle of improving and style discovery. And yeah, so basically, I find that first, I tend to draw a lot from reference. You know, I'm trying to improve, I'm drawing nonstop from reference, and then I draw from reference, but I twist the references beyond what they are to express, you know, what's going on in my head, to create something separate from the reference, or maybe to like document what's going on at the time. And then third, I just stray away from using references completely. Like, I feel they're no longer necessary to use references. Like, I've gained the skills necessary to create what I have in my head, to be more liberal with how I draw, not so tied to using a reference. And I may use them like sparingly, but, you know, yeah, like I no longer feel tied to having to find a reference to create what I have in my head. And then finally, to like, you know, close off the little cycle, I usually end up not liking my art at the very end after going through all this, and I no longer feel confident in what I'm creating, and I start to feel disconnected from my art, and I finally, you know, return back to the beginning and draw a lot from reference to try and improve and get past that period. And, you know, if you've been watching my videos recently, especially my Peachtober series, you know that I'm kind of in this stage right now. I'm not loving my art. Yeah, I'm not loving my style, I'm not loving my art, I'm not really confident, I'm not creating the art that I want to be creating. And so, basically, I have some, before I get into like all the rest of this, I have some of my sketchbooks here. I thought we could like kind of look at examples of this cycle so that you can see how this is a constantly repeating cycle. So my first few sketchbooks here I have are from, this one's from 2016, so 4 years ago now, and I have a lot of pages in this sketchbook were just used to draw directly. This is gonna be really hard. I don't know how to turn the page. To draw directly from reference, just to try and improve. And yeah, well, whatever, you can see. All these pages at the beginning, I've shown them before, but they were all drawing from reference, trying to improve my art. Drawing a lot from reference, maybe even pictures that I didn't care about, but something that could, you know, help me improve, not changing it at all. And then stage 2, I kind of went through this more like being more free with how I use references. So maybe looking at a face and being like, oh, I have a separate idea. Or I have a lot of pages where I'm drawing from life. Wait. Drawing from life. This is not a good way to show this. To kind of, you know, it's still drawing from reference, but it's a more personal reference, something that will document where I'm at in my life. And then, you know, I also will draw from reference, but I will shift my references beyond recognition, perhaps. So I have a lot of pages like that. And then continuing to draw from reference, you know, I have pages where I continue to experiment with the type of art I'm creating. These are quite old. And then finally, all that, learning and drawing from reference will lead to a period of me not using references, but I have the skills necessary to make things look like what I want them to look like. And I have a lot of pages like this where, it's quite clear what I was going for, but I didn't use a reference because I guess I, felt they were no longer necessary to express what was going on in my head. And you'll see this cycle over and over. So this is a more recent sketchbook from May 2017. It actually took me to this year, 2020. So I've shown this sketchbook tour, but I have, redrawing a lot from reference, trying to improve my actual art skills, which will lead to using references, but, not sticking so close to them, doing whatever the heck I want, using them more freely. And then finally, there's a lot of not using references at all to create what's in my head, or, using references, but like just a little bit to express what I have in my head, completely twisting them, or maybe not even feeling it necessary to use references. You can see all these sketchbooks, a little bit better in my sketchbook tours, but basically my point is my art seems to go through this cycle, and it's not like a perfect 1, 2, 3. It's usually more like maybe I stop liking my art, then I want to improve my art, and throughout that, like, I draw from reference, draw from imagination, and it's more like this going through the stages. But overall, it always ends with me needing to change my art and shift my art. Point being, though, that for the most part, I seem to follow this general path. And I don't know, maybe all artists do, but I know that I do. And every time I go through this cycle, my art shifts massively. Like, I could not have predicted the art that I would create after this last cycle or the cycle before that, and it's always in a direction that makes me love my art and makes me like create art that means more to me, because I become more confident and whatever. I always like the art I create at the end of the cycle, and I'm always impressed, and it ends up being my favorite art. And so essentially my goal with drawing you is to, this time consciously advance my art through these stages, starting out from, the drawing from reference phase. I really do love drawing a whole array of subjects. However, I do think my favorite thing to do is draw people. If I just start out with drawing people, the piece will take on a whole life of its own, because I don't know, a person has so much going on in their life and so much in their face, and even just my face. Like, every piece of art I draw starts out with just my face, usually, for the most part, not always, but every piece that you see in my sketchbook, they're all my face. Everything I've shown you, except for that like beginning reference phase, usually is from my face. And most of those shifts you see in how my art is being created and how my style changes always takes place when I draw portraits, because that's where I tend to draw the most. And so when I was drawing like a ton of portraits when I first started taking art seriously, I actually had people send me their photos on Instagram, which was probably what made me advance so quickly, because I couldn't just draw photos that I would naturally choose, because I think like we all gravitate towards photos that are either like maybe in our comfort zone, and so they're easier to draw, and for me that tends to be my face. I draw my face a lot, and that's my comfort zone. And I think that drawing other people's faces is, and specifically faces that I wouldn't necessarily choose myself, is a challenge that really is going to force improvement. And back then I was trying to draw as closely to the reference photo as possible, but my skills didn't really allow that. And so here, I think I have some examples. I definitely have some examples of things that I sent to people, of portraits that I sent to people. Like, these two are portraits that I sent to people. Like, neither of those are flattering pictures at all. But I did what my skills would allow me to do, and it wasn't always great, but it led me to a great improvement. And so I'm gonna deliver on that same promise again. I will draw you. It may not be great. It probably won't be great, but I will draw whatever my skills will allow and what I feel like creating that day, which means I may shift your face beyond recognition. It may look unflattering. I may only draw your eye, but in the end, you'll have a piece of art that you helped me create in this new cycle of my creative journey. So I think that's pretty cool. I hope it is. So if you want to be drawn, here's what I need from you. Number one, you need to be subscribed here on YouTube and follow my Instagram, because it'd be nice if you did, and I hope that if you want me to draw you, it's because you actually like my art enough to be following me and to keep seeing what else I create, but also because if you want to see the art I create of you, you have to stick around. So you can see me post it here on YouTube or on my Instagram, or I guess DM it to you. Yeah, so follow me on Instagram and be subscribed to me here on YouTube. Number 2, I need you to send me a photo of you. It could be you alone, you with a loved one. It could be a selfie, a proper photograph, like looking your best, your worst, smiling, crying. You can send 1 photo, 10 photos. I don't really care. But a photo. And once again, the photo could be shifted beyond recognition. I may only use a single feature of yours from the photo. I may only use the photo as like a jumping off point to create a piece of art, and it'll look nothing like you. And then I could just draw your face as close to reference as possible, which means it could be like a good portrait. It also could be very unflattering. But basically, I'm gonna be using my variety of styles and experimenting, and I can't predict how your piece of art will turn out, but you will inspire a piece of art. So yeah. Obviously, send me whatever the heck you want to send me, but I always find there's like more interest in drawing like, you know, whatever, a random selfie, a captured moment, something, a feeling, rather than something where you're just trying to like look your best. But you could send me your best selfies, like I don't really care. Send me whatever you want and I will be challenged by it, and that's the point of this. So you can DM me on Instagram your photo. My Instagram is roseart67. It'll be down below. You can hashtag draw me Sophie Rose, so I can see it if you want to use a picture that's already posted or whatever. Or you can let me know in a comment down below if you don't have an Instagram, and I can give you my YouTube email, which I don't ever check. So you would need to comment that so I can know you're sending it there. Number 3 is a song. This may seem like a weird request for a draw me type of thing, but almost all of my art is inspired by music and the music that I listen to. And so I would love to know what kind of music you listen to. Send me a song to listen to while I create this, to help shift the piece, to help inspire what I create, and to allow me to learn more about you. It can be your favorite song. It can be a song you find inspiring, a song with good lyrics, a song you hate but you have good memories with, anything. Like, I don't really care. I would love if you sent a story too for why you sent the song, like an explanation. You don't have to, it's up to you. But yeah, send me a song. It can be interpreted literally, like maybe I'll listen and the lyrics will be like, I really want to draw what they're saying. Maybe I'll just enjoy listening to the song and I won't use it at all. Maybe I'll feel something in the mood of the song. Like, I have no idea. I can't predict how the song will be used, just like I can't predict how your face will be used. But send me a song that you want to send me. I don't care why you're sending it to me. And if you feel like it, explain to me why you're sending it. That would mean a lot. Yeah, and 4th, you don't have to, but if you want to send like a little snippet about you, or like really anything, like about how you're doing right now, or your goals, or what's going on in your life, or something you're feeling, or like, I don't know, a line from a song, a line from a book, a color scheme, a photo of the sunset, like I literally don't care, an idea you had for a drawing, anything that you want to send me. Picture of your pet. I'm just gonna keep thinking of things, a character you created, or something like that. Something that has to do with you, that you don't mind, that I could possibly use in your piece, just to help inspire something and to create a story, because otherwise, you know, I'm just gonna be shifting what I'm already feeling onto your piece. But if you want to give me a little bit of a story about you and where you're at, if possible, that's up to you, but it'll help shift the art, and that'll also challenge me because I'm so used to drawing everything going on in my head, and it'd be cool to see what's going on in your head and then take what's going on in my head and like merge them and see how that changes what I would naturally create. It's just cool. It's just fun. I don't know. Otherwise, I'm just drawing your face, or, you know, drawing your face with my interpretations and what's going on in my head. And so, up to you. But, okay, yeah. To recap the 4 things, we have number 1, subscribe to me here on YouTube, follow me on Instagram at roseart67. There'll be a link down below. You can go follow. It's just nice. I mean, I'm gonna be drawing you potentially, so it'd be cool if you did. Number 2, send me a photo. You can DM me on Instagram, use the hashtag I provided, which is draw me Sophie Rose. Don't like at me because, or tag me like that, because like I probably will like see it and then it'll get pushed down and I won't remember that I saw it. So you can at me or hashtag or whatever you want to do, but like, best chance is either to use the hashtag or to DM it to me if you're using Instagram. And if you don't have Instagram and you still want to be drawn, that's okay. Let me know and we'll work something out. Just let me know in the comments. Number 3, send me a song. If you feel so inclined, not necessarily, but you can explain it to me, you know, and that would be really nice. But just send me a song. And number 4, send me another snippet of life, anything, because that'll give me a story behind the face I'm drawing, and that'll mean more, and it connects me more to the challenge. Yeah. So what I'm thinking, and this may sound totally crazy, but my plan is to draw one of these every single week for 2021. Starting January 1st, or maybe not starting, but starting the first week of January. And I know that's a while away, but I have some projects that I want to finish up before I start this. And yeah, so I think waiting for the new year will give you a chance to send me some stuff, will give me a chance to like close off those other things and to build up a reservoir of potential people to draw. And you can send them at any time. You can send it like May 2021, but whatever, send it whenever you have photos you want to send. You can send more than one. You can send more than one story. Do whatever you want. But basically, I will be trying to draw one person every week of the year because that'll just make a cool challenge and it'll keep me drawing. And so now if you're like, hey dude, you didn't even finish Peachtober. Yeah, you're right. But in many ways, this is kind of like less intensive than Peachtober because I don't have to create a finished piece of art every single day. Like I just have to draw something once a week and that'll keep me drawing. And I know like, it seems like it could be a lot, but I might just draw a face from reference just for practice that week, and that could just take me 20 minutes, you know? And I may spend all week creating a very meaningful piece to me. Either way, I don't know what each week will bring, but a challenge like this should keep me drawing throughout the whole year and keep me improving, and it'd be really cool to compare week 1 versus week 52 and, you know, compare how that cycle goes through and see if I go from drawing from reference to being more confident and, I don't know, see how that affects my art outside of this challenge as well. So I'm not going to take the first 52 people who send their photo. I will randomly choose one, probably. Sometimes I may pick someone I'm gravitating towards that day, either because of the photo, the song, the snippet of life, whatever it may be, but I'm going to try and do whatever makes me draw. Really, I'm not going to promise any order or anything because forcing myself to draw something that I don't want to draw is not going to keep me drawing, and really a challenge like this is just to encourage me to keep drawing and to keep improving. So, basically, let me draw you. I've said this many times, but this channel is about improving. It's not about, you know, showing you my best art. It's about that art journey. And as much as sometimes I'd like to present my best art and my perfect art and only film the good art days, I can't do that because I'm not having very many good art days right now, so that's not really even an option. And I'd rather chat and have real conversations about bad art days and about the art journey because that's what I would like to see. And so now you can be a part of that art journey, I guess, and help me improve as an artist, if you want, I guess. Yeah, I hope this all made sense. I know I can tend to ramble. I tried to make some notes, and that's why like you might see me looking down at some point just because I'm literally reading some notes, but I've been sitting here for 40 minutes now recording. I can see the time, and I hope this video I can edit it down to like 10 minutes because I don't think someone's gonna sit for a 40-minute long like instruction thing. I can't help it. I ramble a lot, but I will have the instructions again down below so that it's a little bit more clear. I'm done with my tea. I finished my tea, which explains all of the other cut shots because I had to cut out every time I took a sip and every time somebody walked behind me because I get so awkward when there's somebody there. Every time there's a squirrel that made noise, I look over too. And so there's gonna be a lot of cuts. But basically, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I hope for all of you who are waiting for like actual drawing, you'll stick around for the next few videos because I know that this one and the last one I haven't really been drawing that much, and this is an art channel, but yeah, this is an art journey channel, I guess. So if you're here to see me make art, you won't always see that, I guess. Yeah, and I hope you stick around to see what I create and eventually to see what this challenge becomes. Cool. I guess that's all. Thanks for watching. I guess I'll see you in a bit.